Good evening. It is March 10th, 2015, and we're very, very lucky today. It's a first. We have a group of students with us today, and we're very excited. They are going to tell us all about a STEAM camp that they had in January. And luckily, we have Mr. Asselstine and Mr. Arakawa who will ask them the right questions. And also introduce our students that have come on today. And so what I'll do is introduce Jody Brown first, who is one of our regulars. Hi, Jody. Welcome. She's waving. And then I will turn it over to Shane Asselstine.
Thank you very much. So this January break, we actually had a wonderful opportunity to all participate in STEAM Camp, where we had 5 different activities, and all of the students, we had about 15 to 20 or so students participate in each one. Mr. Arakawa, actually, I don't want to go too deep into it, but Mr. Arakawa was actually the person to headmaster this thing and get it all together and get all the materials we needed and all the support, everything like that. So I think, should I introduce him first and let him talk, or do we want to go down the line and introduce the kids first?
Maybe introduce him first and get the adults out of the way and go to who we really want to talk to.
Sounds good. Okay, so Mr. Arakawa is actually the VP at Momilani Elementary. He's in his 2nd year with us, and we're definitely very happy to have him. He's brought a new dimension to the school and awesome some great ideas, including the STEM camp. So, Mr. Arakawa, go for it. Tell us about your STEAM camp.
Well, STEAM camp was a partnership with Navy Spay War on the island of Oahu. We had this opportunity to produce this camp over winter break for about 3 days for students and a 4th day for training for teachers. And so the concept behind it was real-time practice, or real-time implementation of things that we would perhaps later on use in the classroom. And so we partnered with engineers to develop curriculum and implement over the course of 3 days. And so it was driven by teachers, thought up by teachers, and funded by community partnerships. And hopefully, the whole purpose was to get kids enjoying learning again. And so for the students to come up on here on live hangouts kind of shows how successful the program was. Shane?
All right. So yeah, so it was great. I got to actually participate as a teacher, so I had a different perspective, I guess, from both from Mr. Arakawa and from the students. My session was game design. Go imagine. So let's go ahead and start introducing the kids, and then we can get into some questions with them. So I see on my screen, at least, I see Kawi and Sachi. So do you want to unmute yourselves and go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Sachi, and I'm in 6th grade, and I went to the bottle rocket tree.
Hi, my name is Callie. I'm in 4th grade, and I went to the engineering ice cream.
Engineering ice cream? Sorry, I missed that.
Engineering ice cream.
Okay. I'm curious already. What does that mean? Whoa.
Oh.
Sorry.
That we designed our own ice cream.
That's what I thought you said. I thought to myself, hey, she couldn't have said. Okay, so tell me what that means.
It means that we designed our own ice cream.
And what kind of ice cream was it?
Different flavors.
Like spinach?
Like strawberry, vanilla, mint, sherbet, orange, lemon, chocolate, mint chocolate.
And what was the best one? What did you have samples so people could try?
Yes.
And what was their favorite?
Sherbet.
Like a strawberry sherbet, or?
Strawberry and orange.
Oh, neat. Very cool. Did you
Great.
choose what you were in, or did you get to choose your own to be in ice cream, or did they assign you?
We got to choose.
Nice.
We did.
And Sachi, what did you say you got in? What was your?
Blast off rocketry?
And so you got to blast off rockets.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right. Noah, do you want to go next?
Hi, my name is Noah. I'm in 5th grade and I went to the Game Development STEAM Camp.
Can you tell us a little bit about what we were doing in that camp?
At the STEAM Camp, we thought up of game themes, and then after that, we created them in real life, and we actually got to talk to the developer of, or one of the developers of Minecraft EDU. So that we asked questions, and he gave us tips to make our games better.
And what program did we use for that, Noah?
We used Kodu, I think. Yeah, Kodu.
Great. Faith, you want to be next?
Hi, my name is Faith. I'm in 4th grade, and I went to the engineering ice cream with Cowie.
Great. And hi, Faith's little brother. Kylie,
Okay.
you want to be next?
We like photobombs. Hi, Kylie.
I don't think we can hear you, Kylie.
Can't hear you, Kylie. Uh-oh. Let me check the camera thing.
By chance, Kylie, are you on a Mac? Did you change the settings so that your USB headset is working? Okay, we can't hear you. Maybe you want to take a look in the Apple system settings for that. Okay.
I just turned her on from my. Oh no, I didn't. I thought I did. Can you say something? Shoot.
Huh?
Oh, I hear Faith. Faith's turned off
Faith.
now.
Okay. Her Faith is turned off. Uh-oh.
Okay, in the meantime, Marche and Mia, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Oh,
Marcia.
brother. Oh, brother.
Marche, Mia, Noah, you're unmuted now, and so is Faith.
Oh, okay.
And looks like Cowie too.
Yeah, and just playing with the camera,
okay.
with the controls. You can mute yourself again if you like.
Marche, go ahead. Introduce yourself and your sister.
It's not.
Technical difficulties. Looks like they're frozen.
They are. You know what happens? Well, let me tell you, Shane, what happens is when you get a bunch of people like this, the problems seem to magnify. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So
let's, shall we move on to maybe asking the three that we can hear right now? Or, oh, looks like Marche's talking, but I don't hear her.
Can you hear me?
Really delayed, Marche.
This thing is like super slow.
That's okay. Go ahead and talk. We can listen to you.
Oh, okay. Hi, my name is Marche, and I went to the blast off rocketry with Sachi.
And then what did Mia do?
My sister went to My sister's name is Mia, and she's in 3rd grade, and she went to the test pilots.
Yeah, she was our lone third grader that went to the test pilots that came on, and we were hoping that she'd be able to explain some of the experiments that they did.
Is she there, Marcia? Is your sister there?
She had to leave for something, I believe.
Oh, no problem. No problem. How many different activities were there altogether?
There were 5 different activities that the students could participate in. For 3rd graders specifically, there was Momilani test pilots, which focused in on the forces of flight to fly paper airplanes. We also purchased some motorized attachments that could go into the airplane, and so to see how if they could keep those things up, for a while. For 4th grade specifically, we had the engineering ice cream. Our teacher wanted to have students understand that engineering can happen anywhere rather than just in those things that are identified as engineering, and so so it's more like a process engineering, so things that can be done in different contexts. For 5th grade, we did solar cars, and so the students had to engineer their own solar cars after understanding solar panels and working with the solar toy kit, toy car kit. And then they designed their own car based on utilizing the solar panel and some recycled materials to get those things to move. 6th graders had the blast off rocketry, which you heard about, and we had a 3rd through 6th grade class that Shane offered, which was the game design using Kodu.
And this was a full day?
It was half day. It was 3 half days, 8 to 12, with 1 day for teacher training and unit design up front. And so total the camp was 4 days, 1 day with teachers and 3 days with students.
That is really, really neat. Are you going to do it again?
We're going to do something in summer this time. Winter break for next year is actually a lot shorter. This year it was actually kind of perfect because winter break was 3 weeks, and so it gave us the time after the holidays to put something on for students. Next year's winter break looks a little shorter, and we might not be able to pull it off in a timely manner. So we're this year at least we're going to identify a little bit longer summer one, which are kind of developing right now.
Neat. So what did the kids like about it, kids? What did you like about this camp? Faith? Is that Faith?
The thing that I that I liked most about the about engineering ice cream was that we could make and choose our own flavors using a very easy method called an ice cream ball. Just pour in the materials and then you just shake it for about 5-10 minutes, and I think that's a way easier method than just freezing it and then just leaving it in the freezer. So that's what I enjoyed most. So.
Neat. Anybody else?
Go ahead, Callie.
The thing that I liked most about engineering ice cream was when we got to customize our ice cream using color and flavor. No, don't. The thing that I liked most about our bottle rocketry was we didn't really have much rules, and we were just allowed to show our creative side rather than go by the books and you have to build this and it has to be exactly like this. I don't know. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Noah, did you want to go ahead and add?
Okay. The thing that I liked most about the game development STEAM camp was we didn't have to make a certain game theme. We could if we wanted 2 game themes, we could infuse them into one game. So it would be like a multi-game, I guess. And also we got to talk to real game developers, which really helped us.
Who was the game developer for Minecraft EDU, Noah? You remember?
I don't remember his name.
You remember Mr. Asselstine? Shane? Do you
Yeah,
remember?
it was Joel Levin, actually. He's the co-founder of Minecraft EDU.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you hang out with him on a hangout, or how did that work?
I'm actually quite active with that group in the sense that I help. I'm one of the 2 teachers that help develop and test out some of the stuff that they have. So I'll get early versions of it before other teachers do, and see how it works in the classroom and such. So I have kind of a somewhat of a relationship with those guys. We were actually trying to get one of the head developers to come on as well, and talk about, because the Kodu was not just about the game design, but actually the coding as well that was involved with it. So the Kodu uses a system where it is a when-do type of coding. So when you see this or do this, this happens. So it's a really great, intuitive type of game design. So.
Wow. It sounds like you kids got a lot of time to explore. Is that a fair statement? You weren't told what to do. You just got to check it out and see what you wanted to do. What about I'm fascinated by the ice cream. I'm sorry. So so if you made mango ice cream, was it green? Did you make it green? Or did that match, or did you make whatever you wanted? How did that work with the ice cream for colors? Faith?
So you could like choose a flavor and choose a color, but most people says if they chose like orange, they would like use an orange food dye because it would look more sensible and more satisfaction. But you could actually choose whichever color you want. So if you did make mango, you could like choose green or something. You could choose the color every single flavor except for the chocolate because it was more of a cream and not like the extract. So, but you could choose a color and yeah.
Neat.
Faith, didn't the teacher for that session, didn't she make a very strange ice cream?
Yeah. I think she made vanilla that was purple.
Oh no, that would freak me out a little bit. Cool.
So, can one of you guys explain, maybe even Sachi or Marche, about the blast off to rocketry? What exactly did you do? Marche, are you able to talk or no? Let's try. Let's give you another try here. Mia's back, I noticed too, so that's good.
She needs to unmute herself.
The blast off rocketry was where we got into groups of 3 to 4 people, and the teachers basically gave us some bottles, some materials, and instructions. I was just like, okay, go, make your rockets, and you have to be done by this time, and if you're not, then you're in trouble. And so we had a certain time limit, and we had to follow the instructions in order to make our rockets fly the highest or stay in the air the longest and whatnot.
What was the record anyway?
18,
for the highest? Was it
18 seconds, right, Sachi?
I don't remember, but on Kate, he shot his bottle rocket because we were supposed to do an example. Kate is like almost flew to the cloud. So yeah.
Sorry, Sachi. Can you repeat that? Marche didn't mute herself, so.
Okay, so I don't really remember what the record was, but on the curriculum fair day, Mr. T told us to bring our bottle rockets in and we could test them again. And Kate, his went like super high, like almost into the clouds, so I'm pretty sure that would have set a new record.
Into the clouds. That's pretty high.
I thought I heard somebody say something like Mr. Daniel was telling us 40 seconds somebody was in the air for. I don't know if that's was true or not, but that seems like an awful long time. Mr. Arakawa, you don't remember the record?
I don't remember the actual time. The 40 seconds was like in the engineering design process in their improved stage. The students actually had a second mission in which they could attach a parachute and try to safely land, one of their pilot. And so I think the whatever that time was, it's basically the rocket went up and then the pilot got let go with a parachute, and then the parachute, that rocket with that pilot with the parachute stayed up. Maybe Sachi or Marche could explain a little more, but I think that was the nature of that mission.
Sachi wants to say something.
What he meant to say was our second mission, our goal was to we had to rebuild our rocket, and we had to also create our own parachute, and our man was a ping pong ball. So somehow our parachute and the man had to detach from the rocket while it was up in space. And however long the man and the parachute stayed in space or before it touched the ground would be our time. And that was actually Marche and I's group that got the highest.
Yay. That's awesome. How many groups were there?
There was about 4 or 5 groups.
Nice.
I was quite curious. We were discussing this at school. So each of you, can you try to explain what you found most challenging about the STEAM camps? Who wants to go first? Cowie, go ahead.
The thing that I found most challenging was when we had to work in partners because we each had different ideas to build one idea. Like, for example, me and my partner had different ideas, so when we built it, it looked nothing like how we planned.
Mm.
Noah?
So the thing that I found most challenging during the game development probably was creating the game itself and finding all the codes for the characters, because like sometimes I've seen people's games, it didn't work at all. It kind of did bad things. It went haywire. It didn't really happen to me. Like, it only happened once when I was first putting in the characters. Like, there would be like I would have one character like running around really fast, and it like running around all over the place, and you have to shoot him. But it was really impossible to do that. So I think that was probably the most challenging thing.
Balancing your game. Yeah, that was a lot of people had problems with that one. Yeah. Faith,
Yeah.
what do you think?
The thing that I found most challenging was like just working together as a partner with more like with a group that has more than 2 or 3 people, because everyone's like arguing, hey, no, my plan is better than your plan, because like, and then and we had to accomplish it together. So then we put, for some of it, we put little parts of each person's plan. Like for when we made Rice Krispie treats, Callie wanted like all butter. We didn't want that much butter. We didn't want that much marshmallows, and yeah, so.
Sounds like a lot of adults trying to get together too. So, but it worked together okay in the end, right?
Kylie, is your voice working now? You want to try it?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. For me, I thought it was most challenging when we had time to build our solar car, because right after we we build it, we have to just test it, and we only had like 2 days to do it. And my team got worried because we were like one of the last groups, so we just got worried.
Time was your biggest factor then, yeah? The biggest challenge for you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's have Mia. You haven't spoken much. Mia, what do you think? What was your most challenging part of STEAM Camp?
The most challenging part of my STEAM camp was the way we had to fold it and how straight we had to make the lines. How straight we had to fold how to make the lines for the airplane. It was challenging because we had to get it correct, and it has to be really good folds.
I missed Mia's project. Was she going to tell us about it? I'm sorry. Was I not listening? You had a different project.
I am Mia, and I'm in 3rd grade, and I went to the test pilot class. What the class was about is engineering about airplanes and how it works. And somewhere at the end of the project, we got to make an airplane with a small motor on it, and we got to test it out, and it was really fun.
That is cool. And what grade was that?
That was 3rd grade.
Lucky you. Do you want to do it again? Did you like it? Would you recommend what you did to other kids?
Yes, I would, because you get to learn a lot, and it's lots of fun.
Neat.
I'm curious. I didn't ask them this question, so they may all like give me this real strange look on their face. But
that's fine. That's fine.
What do you guys feel is different between what we did in STEAM Camp versus what we're doing in the classroom on a day-to-day basis?
Good question.
Noah, go ahead.
I think the difference was class. You listen to a teacher all day. You have to take notes. It's not as much fun. And for the STEAM camp, it's mostly hands-on things, and it's more of a fun learning environment instead of a classroom environment where you have to copy things down, do a lot of homework, and research sometimes.
Anyone else? Faith?
It's different because, like, during the winter STEAM camp, you learn about the engineering process, and then, like, in class, they'd, like, teach you, like, the scientific process. So they don't really teach you, like, the engineering stuff. They teach you more, like, the academic stuff more than the STEAM and STEM stuff. So I think that's the difference that I realized. So.
Sachi?
I kind of agree with Noah, and also, like, it's more of a grade in class, and this was just extra, so we got to, like, relax and just do whatever we wanted. And in school, it was kind of more a grade, so they kind of the teachers had a certain way of kind of how they wanted it, but it was still a little creative, so that's what I thought. It was different.
Kawi, since you guys have your mic off?
The thing that I thought that was different was that usually in class we usually like don't work in groups. You usually take notes separate, but in STEAM camp we got to work in groups a lot and do projects.
Noah, you want to add?
Yeah. Kind of adding to what I said earlier, for class, there's more pressure on you. And in STEAM camp, it doesn't matter if you like do something wrong as much as in class, because in class it's your grade and it could mess up your academics. That's it.
That sounds incredibly familiar. I think I
Yeah.
just heard about that last night, about talking about failure and it being okay to fail. Kylie, you
Mhm.
want to add?
I have my own answer though. I think it was different because when I'm in class, I usually just collaborate with the people sitting next to me. But instead, at STEAM camp, I go to other tables and talk, but just for WIC though. Yay.
Marche?
Okay, go.
Well, this is for mine because it's for me. What I found out was that we didn't get to move around as much in class, and we have to sit down nicely and be quiet. But during STEAM camp, we got to move around and go all over the place in the classroom and make as much noise as you do in the class at school.
Marche, do you want to add since you're on there?
I think agreeing with like Noah and Sachi, when you're in school, it's kind of like pressure. Make sure that you get the good grade once the first time so that you like won't have to take home a progress report or a missing assignment sheet and whatnot, and you won't mess up your grade. But then in STEAM camp, it was like if you make a failure, you learn from it and you can do it again and remodel your test pilot or your rocket or your game or your ice cream or your solar car and stuff like that. So that's what I find is really different compared to the two.
Mr. Arakawa, what do you see as a difference?
Well, to kind of add on what the students are talking about is that STEAM Camp was designed to have our teachers learn, and when we think of education, we want to talk about or think about how we as adults model the learning for students. And so what we did with that upfront day with the engineers to really think about what we're going to do for engineering or for STEAM, the teachers actually got a chance to learn on their own. The solar cars, we actually put the solar car kit. Our teachers did that the day before students arrived. Same thing with the rockets. Same thing, with Mr. Uchino and the test pilots. They were kind of designing their planes on the go to figure out kind of what we could possibly do. And from that, the idea was real-time implementation and practice. And so, the students actually got to, really go through the engineering design process. But also our teachers got a chance to kind of go through it. So if you ask them, when they came back from winter break, what did they notice is that they might probably talk about some of the things that might have changed in their science or their science learning in the classroom. For example, perhaps Noah and Kylie can talk about what they did, after they came back, when they started working with windmills. Or Sachi and Marche can talk about when they came back to school, how they kind of went through the Colditz glider, the integrated STEAM project. Same thing with 4th grade, in which they did a electricity unit on designing their own, room. And I think 3rd grade did something where they had to use mirrors to move a beam of light. And so those things that the teachers implemented kind of stem from the things that we were doing at these STEAM camps or trainings that we have. We had a professional developer named Karen Umeda. She came to our school 2 times prior to STEAM camp to work with our teachers to really understand STEAM, and the engineering design process. And I think, it's a good change for us as a school because, when the students talk about, they didn't have the pressure of grades, or they didn't have, they got more active, or they got to play, or they got to redesign something or do something again. Yeah, I think those are learning that we're trying to implement real time in regular classrooms. And so I think the difference was that our teachers and our students didn't have the pressure of curriculum that we have to do. All the units that we did were grade level standards. They were tied into Common Core thinking processes, and definitely tied into NGSS, which is the Next Generation Science Standards. And so I think the biggest difference was that we went in understanding that it would be learning for both adults and students. And I think that's the biggest difference in what you saw. When the students talk about there's less pressure both ways for adults and students, less and more ability to enjoy learning, which is really important for us at Momilani.
Sounds ideal to me. Too bad you don't have more time to do that, yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, actually, as one of the teachers, I would totally agree with Garrett, or Mr. Arakawa, that it was, that first day was really interesting because we get so involved with our curriculum sometimes and so involved with what's happening this week or next week or the next day or next day, but to actually have the SPAWAR engineers come in and talk to us about real life examples of how they're doing certain things and how they're using the process that we were going to then use with the kids was awesome, and just seeing someone else's perspective from outside education come in and help us, and then trying to combine those things. So as a teacher, this is how I would have taught it and how he would have taught it, and just meshing that. And hopefully we came out with the best of both worlds for all the students. And I mean, I guess I can speak mostly for my session, and Noah was there with me, but it was great to just see them all trying each other's stuff and helping each other, leaning over and having 3 adults to, what would we have, 24 kids, I think. So that ratio alone was made it so much easier to get to all the kids. And yeah, it was really great. I'm kind of curious to extend that last question and wonder now, what would you guys feel like if that's how class was run? Faith?
I would feel like there would be like less pressure, and like I can just learn from my mistakes instead of like pressure, come on, you have to do it a certain way. We can like express our creativeness through working together as a group, and I think it would help us like learn how to like be together and work together more often instead of like arguing and stuff. So
Noah?
I think I would enjoy class way more because it would be like a fun experience instead of like just taking notes and learning like grammar or like how to divide decimals and all those other subjects.
Sachi? Wrong button.
I would like to kind of add on to what Noah said, because it would be more fun, and also because it was a smaller group, we would actually be able to get more stuff done at a certain limit time, because there's not as many people and not as many groups with as much as people, so there would be less arguing and less, disagreeing, so it would be easier.
Sorry.
So, I'm curious, and I'm sure Mr. Arakawa is curious, what would you all like to see for the next STEAM camp? Mia.
What I would like to see is I would want them to teach us more designs for airplanes and teach us more how to fold it and increase it better, so we have a better airplane that can fly farther and go through the obstacle courses that our teacher made in the cafeteria.
Faith?
I think they should like show us like even more examples of engineering and like how it works and why it works and like how to make more stuff using the engineering process, like making more food using the engineering process. So that's what I would like to see.
Got that, Mr. Arakawa? Faith wants to engineer more food. The perfect burger, maybe, or something. Noah.
Well, I would like to see that we have more time because when we were watching the videos of kids that use Kodu, they actually built their game over a timeline of 3 months, and we only had like 2 days because the first day we learned about the codes and how to use Kodu, and we had to decide what game theme we wanted. And yeah, that's it.
All right. We could probably do that in the lab. We'll see. Cowie.
I would like to see other STEAM camps interacting with other STEAM camps, like for example, the engineering, the games development teaches our ice cream, and we play their games.
Sachi, you want to add anything? All right. Mia?
I agree with Faith a little bit because, and I would like to add on because I think it would help us. I think it would help us also learn more. If we get more engineering and they teach us more stuff, I think it would help us to learn more about more things.
Go ahead, Marche.
Oh, and for me, because for every STEAM class that we had one engineer assigned to everyone. And for me, I would have appreciated if we had like an engineer for like more than one engineer at least, because like when you have one person like 24 kids asking like like different questions at one time, and the other person just like, wait, what? Slow down, right? So I thought that it would be more interactive that way, and that way we can get more of a grasp on what we're trying to learn instead of just having those short, quick answers that that person can get onto the next person.
Boy, that doesn't sound familiar at all with 35 kids in some of my classes. Kylie, and then we'll go back to Noah there. Kylie, you got to have something to add, right?
Did you guys change the question?
The question is, what would you like to see for the next STEAM camp?
Oh, okay. Next year I would for the solar car race. I would like to see like we race with other cars, so we just have a start and finish, and all the cars are racing. Cause all we did was test it, and then see the record of, the results of the fastest time, or yeah.
You have a fan behind you.
Mhm.
Noah, you want to finish off there?
Kind of adding on to what Kylie said, it would be nice if each group had like an award. So like for the solar cars, maybe like first place car, second place car, third place, and then for the game design, maybe like awards like most creative, most fun, most challenging, and for the rockets, highest flight or longest flight, and for the ice cream, most creative and the tastiest.
All right.
I
Linda?
I have to say, I'm so impressed with this group. Did you pick like the top people to come on? No, I think
These are all the
probably
ones that were brave enough to go on
that
camera.
were brave. I am really impressed. Thank you so much for coming on because I learned a lot. And if you ask students, how to improve things, I think you get some really cool answers. And the fact that you did the STEAM camp and you know you wanted more of that in your class, and your class, Mr. Arakawa says, will improve because of the camp, you are very, very lucky to have a school that treasures what students think about and want them to learn other than note-taking, although I have to say that the note-taking and the research is kind of important when you're doing creativity, because without that sometimes you get stuck. So I'm sure you do lots of research as you do your engineering, so it kind of comes naturally, I think. But I just want to say how impressed I am with you, and thank you so much for coming on. Jody, do you have any questions of the students? Any comments? Oh, I can't hear you.
For
There
me,
you are.
how Noah said reward or something. Well, for our STEAM camp, our teachers were nice enough to bring like candy bars and treats and stuff. So we had like categories from who went the highest, whose rocket looked the nicest, and it was based all on boats and stuff. And Sachi can really like relate with me right now because we won a couple categories together, and it was really
Oh,
fun.
now the cat's out of the bag. Some people got prizes.
Yeah.
A comment that I have is that I think it was really fun, and I like the idea that Mr. Arakawa had for the STEAM camp, and I liked how they add the A in for the arts. And what I also liked was how my teacher, he brought in an extra person that actually his job is science, and we got to learn more with him, and he got to explain more to us.
So I'm thinking maybe you students should go and tell other people about what's being done at your school. What do you think of that? Like maybe a conference coming up or something like that that you would like to share? What do you think of that, Mr. Arakawa? Schools of the Future coming up with the deadline of Friday. This would be like a fantastic project to tell people about. Bring the kids along.
Yeah, not to put schools of the future on the spot, but we did put an application in. In fact, we put two. Mr. Asselstine put one in, and I put one in as well. So if you don't have two schools of the future, it's on you.
Yes, yes. Oh, good. You already thought about it. You're ahead of it. Yeah, definitely a Schools of the Future kind of project. And to have if you can get the kids on, that is a testament that cannot be denied. Really fantastic program. I applaud all of you for participating, Mr. Arakawa for thinking it up, and Mr. Asselstine, I'm sure, did a lot for executing. And yeah, you guys are pretty lucky, I would say.
You've kind of created monsters now. They all want to answer. They have totally interrupted Jody. So
Yes, yes. No, that's okay. That was we'll let them go. Jody, did you have anything? Jody, Miss Brown, do you have anything to say? No. Okay. She's a great active listener, so we enjoy having her on. Okay, if there's not anything else, any parting words from the students? Anything you want to say that you might have thought of that you want to make sure that people know about before we close? Noah?
I would like to see other STEAM camps popping out from all over the country and possibly the world, because it's an opportunity that other kids should have, not just students at Momilani or students in Hawaii or in the US. It should be something that all students have access to. So I think that's just a comment. Yeah.
It's a great comment. Anybody else? Faith? Do I see your hand up?
Oh, I was gonna say, good job to Mr. Arakawa for the planning it. I had so much fun. I wish we could like have it again and hopefully see other schools do it around the world and maybe the country and hopefully some other schools, like just as a subject itself, like not like summer schools, anything. But like I hope to see it like have just a little part like a subject, maybe a little part called engineering. So it was fun.
Awesome. Got a photo bomber there. Anybody else? You want to add parting thoughts?
Kylie?
This is just a comment. It's not that important, but wait, sixth grade got treats? Wait, what? I feel offended. So okay, I
And
want
she
to
said it
see that
publicly.
next year.
That's cool. You just got photobombed. We have some good photobombers. Anybody else?
I can't tell if that's Mia or Marche's hand. Oh, Mia.
Mia?
This is to all the kids that like are watching this. All I wanted to tell you was that like Momilani is a really good school, and they want to convince other schools to do the things that we are doing, so they can learn and be a good school too.
Whoa.
Thanks.
I think
I was gonna add on. For us, even though Mr. Asselstine did say that it was like about 24 kids each class and a very minimum, I was very happy to see that in each grade level, rising from kindergarten up, they made a little session in our day of school, I guess, on certain days that we call STEAM Lab. So I was really excited to see that because other kids in our class were able to see what we do during STEAM, and maybe if like Mr. Arakawa or Mr. Asselstine open up another STEAM lab, they would be interested in joining.
this is exciting.
Are you gonna say something? Say something.
Well, I was gonna add on, and I was gonna say that I'm really surprised that all the kids that don't really listen in class kind of participated in the STEAM project during winter, and I was super surprised.
Okay.
That is awesome. That's a profound thought.
Different learners.
Out of the mouths of babes. Noah?
I would like to add that I would like to see the lower grades, like kindergarten and through second grade, like they could have like a STEAM camp too, but it's like really simplified, so they could learn about like rocks, I guess, minerals, or something really easy that doesn't require that much complexity as like building up airplane that works or like designing a game. That's all I have.
Babe?
Since like a majority, like a lot of jobs now include like science, technology, engineering, math, I think it's a good opportunity that Momilani, it's like teaching us now so that when we get older, we might have an opportunity to get that job that includes like science, engineering, and stuff. So I think it's a good opportunity just to learn about engineering.
Neat. Kali?
I want to see other schools like on Google Hangout like post themselves doing it like on YouTube or something, like how we did it.
You started a trend. You're a pioneer. You all are pioneers. Did you know that? You're a pioneer on my show anyway.
Now they're going to want their own weekly show.
That'll work. Talk to Kern Kelly. He has a tech show once a week. They're older kids, but it could definitely work with younger kids. I feel so privileged, everyone, that you came on. And thanks to Mr. Asselstine and Mr. Arakawa for arranging it, because I know it takes a lot of planning to get make it look seamless on air and you look like you know what you're doing. Everyone's smiling. It's really, really a pleasure to listen to you and learn from you. And I think maybe that little proposal for the Schools of the Future should be taken back and put this little video as a little attachment as a support for why they should be on the conference, because the kids are really, really quite amazing. Really awesome.
But you can't steal all these kids because I need them for my Minecraft stuff. So.
That's fine. Anyone bursting to say something before we close for the night? Go ahead, Mia. It's okay, Marche. Go ahead, Mia.
Comment like what kind, and this is from Mr. Uchida. I'm so surprised at how much he didn't get angry.
Okay.
I'm surprised how much he didn't get. Do not let Mr. Uchida.
So what you're trying to say is you saw a different side of him which you really love, right? Okay, Shane, Garrett, any parting thoughts? Any concluding thoughts?
I mean, I surprised as I was at what Mia just said, I think, you know, the underlying thought behind that is actually that, you know, we did actually get to be different teachers than we are on a day-to-day basis. And, you know, it's the kind of teachers we'd all love to be, you know, and sometimes it's the system, sometimes it's this or that, just the, you know, the busy schedules. And you know, sometimes it just gets all caught up. But yeah, I agree, Mia. We'd all love to be those teachers and, you know, give you guys these opportunities. And I think this is a great step for something like that to show us and help us self-reflect on, you know, the kinds of things that we want to practice. And I, for one, for sure, have been using a lot of things in my class now where, you know, I mean, all of these kids come to see me each week, and, you know, you could even ask them about all the projects we've been doing, and, you know, none of them are textbook writing down pieces of paper and trying to take notes. They're more about them, you know, exploring the concepts and building through the 3D world and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, we're trying, we're trying to improve too. So, Mr. Arakawa, you wanna anything?
Yeah, I think, you know, STEAM Camp was 15 kids to 2 teachers almost, you know, and so the amount of the student to teacher ratio was awesome, you know, and in a regular classroom it's a little bit difficult to have that type of attention for students. You know, we try as much as we can, but, you know, in the real regular classroom it's a little more difficult to get there. But I did want to talk about one of the reasons why we at Momilani are pushing STEAM, or, you know, we think that it's really important, is that our students, you know, we don't know what they're gonna, what kind of jobs are gonna be out there for them, what kinds of things that, you know, they would have to be able to do. But the things that they learn through the engineering design process, to be able to fail, but to be able to overcome it, to be able to collaborate with each other, you know, to have multiple ideas when we go in, but come out with a singular idea where we can work on together. You know, all those types of things that we kind of overlook in the classroom, you know, really comes out through STEM, or through STEAM, and it's some things that we are trying to figure out how we can embed, you know, or integrate within our instruction. You know, I think the main thing that we're getting across from the kids now is that, you know, we really have to be lifelong learners, you know, and teachers are continuously learning too, and vice principals as well. And the next steps basically stem from the things that we're learning from these groups of students, you know, and the next try, and the, you know, the improved stage for our own STEAM camps, you know, and those things will kind of hopefully improve as we go along. And so version 2.0 might be a little bit better than version 1.0, you know. Yeah. So in closing, I think that's pretty much what we're trying to do.
It's wonderful. So kids, what that means is there's going to be more of the same, the good stuff. So I'm really, really happy for you. Really happy for you. Okay, so we are a little bit past the hour. Thank you so much all for coming on. I will stop the broadcast, and if some of the kids want to debrief a little bit, that'll be fine. And again, thank you so much for coming on, and we will see you next week. Take care, all. Thanks for coming. Wave. Take care.